Welcome everyone to round 11 of the V8 Supercar official online series presented by Iracing.com, Extreme Sim Gear and Direct Clutch Services. Jay Kennedy and Stephen Sandman Clark joining you for round 11 from Zandvoort in the Netherlands. G'day Sandman.
G'day Mr. Kennedy, how are you mate?
Yeah, very well. Yourself mate?
Very good, very good. Looking forward to this round. This track's going to definitely, they're going to have the work cut out for them, the boys, tonight. It's a very tricky technical track, 30 laps. And my favourite, we got pit stops, buddy.
Yeah, definitely 30 laps around here. Last time we were here, it was only 25 laps, and the man who walked away with the race, he's almost become the mayor of this place, Renz Brookman. Good to have you along.
Yeah, good evening, guys. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, pleasure, mate. And you seem to love this place quite a lot.
Sorry?
You seem to love this place.
Oh yeah, I love this place. I come here a lot to watch races, so yeah, it's definitely one of my favorites.
An impressive time through the week. Your qualifying speed's been sensational. It's actually been, the time for the guys to chase. And I think at the moment you're currently sitting P3, but a sensational time. That's probably got a lot to do with a bit of the love affair with this racetrack, I doubt.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, 4 times quicker than last season, so I definitely can't complain. It's a shame that there are so much good guys out there that are even faster.
Yeah, that qualifying time you actually did right at the start of the week, and you haven't done much practice since. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. I've been driving the McLaren as well now, the new car in Iracing. So yeah, this is definitely something different again. So back to the old car.
Sorry, mate, but how do you find, switching from the McLaren back into the V8 for a race night? Like, is it an easy transition for you, or does it sort of take you a few laps to get your head around it? Because they're two totally different cars to drive.
Well, it will definitely take a few laps to get your head around, especially the way the rear end feels and the braking. It's just a lot more, just a lot less grip in the V8. It's just a lot less tire, more weight. But it's as much fun as the McLaren, really.
Speaking of grip, this track probably known for its lack of grip, especially towards the end of the race. Is that something that you've trying to master this week, I guess?
Well, I tried to in the early race. Tried to do a pit stop without taking tires, but it was very hard work at the end. So yeah, it's very hard on tires, and it should be a little less than last season at least.
Oh, good luck. Talk us through a lap of Zandvoort. Go for it, Renz.
Last corner, axing in 5th gear. I'm on a 375 div, so I rev out at the end of the straight. Brake nice and early after the pit wall. Use the camber of turn 1 and 3rd. Up to 4th. The apex nice and smooth. Back to 3rd. Up to 5th. Very easy to hit the grass on the left here, as we saw Madison do in the early race. This one is in 4th. Still in 4th, hit the curb. Careful on the exit. 3rd. I'd like to hold it to the right here, but A lot of people go out to the left and back to the right. Then you're third for this one. A short straight to the chicane. The chicane is in third again. Fourth. Then you're fourth. Use the camber. Short shift to fifth for the last corner again. And then we're back on the straight again.
Decent lap time.
Make it look so
43,
easy.
43.8
not
with
very
race
fast.
fuel. Not too bad in race spec. I think
Yeah,
probably
it's not
the
my specialty to drive and talk at the same time. But
everyone struggles with that. Probably the biggest thing I think Sam and myself noticed there, lots of throttle control.
well, that's one of the tricks to this place. It's especially the first half of the track is still like the old track, so there's a lot of cambered corners. You have to be really careful with getting on the power too early.
It's definitely something that gets interesting as the race goes on because, we've noticed the times really drop off as the race goes on. So that throttle control is more and more important when you're sort of approaching halfway mark of this race.
Yeah, definitely. And then it also becomes a problem in the second half of the track where it's a little bit more flat. Then you pretty much begin to struggle everywhere. It's very hard on ours.
Might be having a couple of technical issues at the moment. Not 100% sure. I think we've got new volume. Sorry, Seb. Okay. Yep. Yeah, no, we're all good. No car volume apparently. Getting that fixed. Thanks. Thanks guys in the chat for helping us with that. No car volume, so we'll fix that very, very quickly. Now, Renz, we see you will be racing in Race of Champions for the first time in a couple of weeks. Excited about that?
Yeah, very excited. First time, and yeah, definitely look forward to that one.
See if we can try and smuggle some secrets out of the guys, and we might get some secret practice in. I think, Renz.
It's an interesting concept, isn't it, Renz? What are your thoughts on Race of Champions? It really sort of produces something different as far as racing. Your thoughts coming into it?
Well, that's the key of events like that. I think to be that different. Yeah, it's interesting. Sure.
Right, I'll be happy to stay in the lead lap, but I think you've probably going to be one of the favourites for the event, Ren. So I'll be trying to get some helpful hints off you.
Well, never underestimate the other drivers.
Oh, you can underestimate me. It's fine. I'll be happy to just stay on the track. All right, thanks, Renz. Go off and get yourself a drink, and good luck in the final qualifying session.
All right, guys. Thanks for having me.
Thanks a lot, mate.
All the best, buddy.
Yeah, thanks.
It's a great insight. I know we speak about it every week when we get guest drivers to come in and turn a lap, but it really helps when you can see where the guys position the cars and set up the cars for corner entry. And like you were saying before, listening to that all-important throttle control, especially around here, because the tyres give up on you and the times fall away. And one thing that can really win a race for you is looking after those rear tyres.
Yeah, the throttle control was amazing. Unfortunately, I don't think the spectators are actually able to hear that with the technical issues we were having, but it was almost in fourth gear, like coming out of corner exits before he's getting the power down. That's probably the key to a good lap time in this place is throttle control and making sure you get the throttle down, not too early, but not too late. So we'll try and get on board with a couple of drivers during qualifying to actually show what we've been talking about over the last couple of minutes before we get to qualifying. No, we were just talking about Race of Champions. It's only 3 weeks away, 2 weeks away now. Getting a bit excited. I don't know what to do. Pressure's on now.
Mate, we've swapped roles. You've kicked me out of the race seat and you've slipped in nice and easy. And mate, you'll be no doubt looking forward to it. Like we said, it's very special every time we come around to it. And no doubt this year is going to be bigger and better. I think the guys, really outdo themselves, and no doubt there's going to be some twists and turns that we don't know that are coming. And it's just going to make it all that more exciting.
Yeah, we haven't even had Race of Champions 3, and I'm sure Race of Champions 4 has already been planned with the amount of people that have shown interest in competing in it. But you can have the seat back for number 4, Sam, man. I'll let you have it back.
Oh, thanks,
we'll alternate.
mate.
I'm happy to alternate with you. What teams do? We're a team up here.
That's right. That's right.
But before we get to that, we've got this round tonight, round 11. Next week we've got round 12, the final round of season 4 for 2012. See 2012 seasons out next week at Brands Hatch. Richard Hampstead's got one hand and a little bit more on the championship at this stage.
It's gone incredibly quick. I know we had 2 weeks off with Christmas and New Year and all the rest of it, but for me, the season's absolutely flown by, and I can't believe we're almost ready to crown another champion.
Yeah, it's gone amazingly quick. It's been a pretty close season too. We had Scott McLaughlin win the first 3 rounds, and then since then we've seen all different sorts of winners and battles, and it's been a truly fantastic season to watch this season.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I think a lot of people probably forgot about Scott's dominance at the start of the season. Obviously, he's had commitments outside in the real world with V8 Supercars and everything else. But yeah, it was incredible to see that pace that he had. And, I think a lot of people were sort of scratching their heads wondering, was anyone going to be able to stop him? And then, everyone's had their fair share of luck and bad luck. And, we're still at the point where Madison Downs still hasn't claimed that elusive Monday night victory.
Yeah, just looking at the season championship, Scott McLaughlin still finds himself in 8th position, only raced 5 rounds.
It's not bad. He did chalk up a couple of wins that helped that out along the way.
Yeah, a few wins. But yeah, it's amazing that such a dominant start to the season. If he didn't have other commitments outside of this and was able to commit to a full season, he would more than likely have won the championship by now.
Yeah, that's the one thing that is real interesting as far as sim racing. I mean, everyone's got different commitments in and around home and family and all the rest of it. So, it's not always clear cut at the start of the season just because you see someone cutting fast laps. There's so many unknowns. I mean, you would have lost a lot of money in a bet if you'd said that we were coming to this part of the season and Madison Down hadn't chalked up a win. So, there's so many different variables, and that's what makes our series is that much special.
Not far away from the final qualifying session. We'll quickly run through the current top 10 as it stands right now. So it's Justin Ruggier currently on pole, 1 minute 40.532. Then it's Madison Down. It's just pipped Renz Brookman in the last qualifying session. Not much between those guys. Then you've got Richard Hampstead with a 40.6. Val Richards, Sean Kelly, John Emerson. Then a name we haven't seen in a long time, George Maris. Straight up in his first qualifying session, found himself in 8th at the moment. Then Mitch Abril and Mitchell McLeod. And Stephen Clark, Sam, man, you're in 17th, mate. You're not doing too bad.
Yeah, I've been pretty happy. Obviously, the new start with TTR, and it's been good. I found myself, I think I qualified inside the top 20 last week and sitting 17th at the moment. So it's a good start, but long way to go.
Don't ditch us, mate.
No chance of that. I don't think you can kick me out of the commentary box that easy, mate.
Very good, very good.
Nice
Wouldn't
try,
be the same without you. Yeah. No, I'm not trying. Don't worry. People trying to knock the door down, get you out of the seat, but they won't be getting in. They're only probably a minute or so away now. After qualifying, we actually have a bit of a preview of Race of Champions as well. So that's coming up very, very soon, but we're almost at time for the final qualifying session.
I just can't believe how close it is for those top 4 positions, that battle between Ruggier, Down, Brookman and Hampstead. I mean, incredibly close. 40.532 is pole and 40.666 is 4th position. I mean, those times are just remarkable.
It's a fairly long and twisty track too. Like, it's a track that probably in real life, you'd see a massive time difference between the first and fourth, fifth, sixth driver because of the layout of the circuit. But these guys are just so quick and consistent every week.
Yeah, it really goes to show that, the quick guys are really quick on the tight, twisty technical tracks, and others, like myself, I probably found it a little bit more difficult. I'm probably about 1.5 seconds off the pace, where last week I was under a second. So it really goes to show that the guys that have got their heads screwed on and really can get the technical bits down pat, it really does work to an advantage for them.
And it probably is the most technical track we go to on the calendar. My opinion anyway. I can't think of any track that's more technical. The banked corners and the tight chicane style and hairpin corners, plus the nice big long open straight. It's a really different track.
I couldn't agree more, mate. When we started testing earlier in the week, I think Tuesday, I hadn't really turned many laps here at all. So the first couple of laps before I'd got my setup, I didn't really, I think I sort of hated this track in a way, but as the week's gone on and testing's progressed, I've really it's really moved up, the list as far as one of my favourites. But it's so technical, and it can really sort of bite you if you haven't got your car set up right.
Yeah, I think it's probably a track that a lot of drivers hate, but purely because they're not willing to put in the time to get that set up as they need it. And I think that's the key, is setup. This track here, really, really crucial on setup. We've seen drivers with 10 or 12 second difference in qualifying purely because they haven't got the support around them to qualify up near the front. They've got the speed, but they haven't got the setup or the setup knowledge to get them up there. So definitely one of the most critical and crucial tracks we go to on the calendar, which is really good.
Yeah, it's a nice challenging element for our series. I think there's, like you were saying, there's a lot of people that probably don't like it all that much, but it does have a nice little twist on our series.
We've got pictures now from the final qualifying session for the week. So drivers all on their out lap, nice and slow, nice and steady. Has this become the normal in the series now?
Yeah, definitely very crucial. We speak about it every week, but here mostly because I think the tyre drop-off is incredible throughout the race. You lose a couple of seconds within, sort of a lap or two. Those times really fall off. So it really helps in qualifying if you look after them for that first lap.
Guys are a bit lucky. There's only 13 drivers who have actually made it into this session, so it looks like the qualifying sessions are split into two to give the faster guys their own qualifying session. So I'm pretty sure a lot of drivers will be rather happy with that. A couple of noticeable absences though. Richard Hampstead, he's decided he hasn't got any more left in his car, so he was given up for the week. I think P4. As we were talking about before, we will go on board for this hot lap with Madison down. He's currently P2, 1 minute 40.5. Doesn't need much to pip Justin Ruggier. I think 4/100ths of a second is all he needs. Stay on board for this lap. He's aborted his lap. Notice that the little S where it goes left and then right up over the hill, and you see there's a curb and then there's a piece of track and then another curb. Madison in the early race tonight, he absolutely cleaned up that curb, the second curb on the right hand corner, and it launched him straight into the fence. Ended his race quite quickly.
Yeah, it's a real tricky part of the section. It's sort of it's a blind apex where you sort of come up over the crest, and if you clip that curb the wrong way, like happened to Madison, yeah, you're just a passenger, unfortunately.
Go to Justin Ruggier, just starting his flying lap, currently sitting in pole position.
great turn of pace from Ruggier. I mean, we saw all week that Renz was top of the charts, and Ruggier put down a time and just slowly pegged away at it. And now, as we start this last session, he finds himself in provisional pole. So, great effort from Ruggier.
Notice just this section of the track here is where the cars get really loose over the hills. You see the front right of the car bouncing off the road and get it a little bit unsettled on that curb on the inside, and that's enough to throw Madison into the fence, and I think it actually hurt you a little bit too, Sam tonight.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to bring it up, sorry mate, I should have brought it up.
Mate.
No worries.
I actually ran out of talent. I was behind Samuel Collins, and he checked up as he was entitled to, and sort of caught me out, and I stomped on the brakes probably a little harder than I should have, and it just fired me into the fence. So that was the end of my night. But it's definitely a tricky part of the circuit if you don't get it right.
Laps look nice and smooth from Justin. Not sure how we're going with the times. Look nice and smooth.
Listen to this throttle control coming onto the front straight.
Tiny little dab on the brake just before the entry, and he's aborting his lap. Actually,
Wow.
Practice his pit entry. You're gonna end your lap, you might as well do that, because it's a tough pit entry too, Sam, man.
Yeah, it's caught a couple of people out in a couple of the earlier races. I've seen people fire themselves into the fence, but it looks like Justin's got it all sorted, which is good.
Go to Clayton Brooks. Currently finds himself P12 for the week, 1 minute 41.780. A little bit off the pace of his attempted lap that he's already completed. Possibly is doing a fuel run at the moment.
Yeah, it's incredible the amount of people that have, cutting testing and working out their fuel numbers, and if they haven't quite got it right, they may have cut it a little bit short in the earlier race, or so it's probably a good time if you're not really ready for a hot lap that these guys can do a full fuel run, check out their fuel numbers, and get a good feel for the setup for any last minute changes.
Corey Osborne on screen at the moment. Currently P26 for the week, 142.962. His best time in this session, only a thousandth off. 2 1,000ths off, so he's pretty consistent. Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was something I was going to bring up. It's so easy to get that left rear onto the grass, and once you do, you're almost, a passenger, but he did a great job to hold on to it, but I think unfortunately it might have cooked his lap.
Yep, that's the end of that lap.
Well, in saying that, he's still keeping into it.
He's not slowing down at all. A lot of guys can check where they're up against their best lap time car. They can use the timing delta to see their current lap position in comparison to a dialed in lap or their best lap. Or
that's right. For people who maybe not be familiar with iRacing or sim racing in general, that it's pretty much like what the boys in V8 Supercars have like on their Motac dash display on their steering wheel. It tells them whether they're up or down in the sectors or the lap. So he's keeping into it, so it may be better. We'll see.
And it is 142.8.
There you go.
Go to Robert Hartley. Currently got the sheet in front of me at the moment. Hang on, let me find out. Unprepared, that's not good enough, is it?
I won't kick you while you're down, because I actually don't have it in front of me either.
Oh, that's good. Currently P34. He's a long way down the sheet this week. We normally see him in the top 25. 143.131. He's already beaten that time in this session with a 42.737, so he's already moved straight into the top 25.
Yeah, depending on what people's commitments are through the week, sometimes it's easier for them just to practice through the week and then put down a qualifying time towards the end. But everyone's got different ways of going about it, and obviously, Robert's probably had a bit of a busy week, and he's getting the job done now, which is great.
Yeah, other guys as well, they'll like to do some practice and then go straight into a qualifying session straight after it and then not drive again for a few days. So there's a lot of different... Oh, wow.
Well,
He's trimmed.
that'll put some temperature in the rears.
Yep, and that's ended his lap. Go to the V8 Supercar fan group car of Sean Kelly.
Be a bit lonely, old Sean. He's probably been missing his mate, Brad Ryan, who's had a couple of weeks off, and so Sean's doing a great job of flying the colours for V8 Supercar fan group.
Yeah, Brad over in New Zealand at the moment, working for a couple of race teams over there as part of his TAFE course in motorsport. So I don't know if Brad's watching, but hello Brad if you are watching.
Oh, a little.
Be upset that we haven't got him crashing. So
I'm actually a little bit jealous having a look at some of those photos he's got on Facebook.
He's
like
definitely having a good time. Yeah, for sure. So Sean is currently P6, but I think that's ended his lap.
Yeah.
Madison looking like he's just started his lap and he's aborting it already. Halfway through the lap.
Yeah, we're over the halfway mark of this qualifying session. There's 9 minutes to go now, so Madison's probably thought those first couple of turns weren't all that great, and it's better just to sort of reevaluate and restart again with a fresh set of tyres.
Leighton Brooks is just starting his hot lap, if we can go to Brooksy. Rich Abril, fastest driver in the session at the moment at 1:41.509. It's actually improved his best time for the week, currently P9. Hasn't improved a position, but it has improved his time.
Big moment for Brooksy, sorry mate, but just got
right.
on the throttle there and almost fired it into the fence, but yeah, what a shame.
Really easy to do that too. He's actually not far away from his best lap in the session, so it hasn't hurt him a great deal.
It's all that throttle control we talk about. There's so many, there's a couple of major points that you've really got to be easy on the throttle, and it's tricky enough on new tyres, but when these guys are going to be running around on older tyres, they're definitely going to have their work cut out for them.
Go to one of the other Team ANZ drivers, Carwin May. Carwin, pretty well known throughout the series now for being the best fuel saver. I wonder if he's thinking of doing a no-stop race.
Oh, that's interesting.
He'll just put in his lap time, 1:42.4, not enough to improve at the moment. John Latham also put in a lap time. That's it. Whoa, Carwin, he's stuck in the fence.
Yep.
Not going to be good. John Latham at 1:42.4. I think that's his best lap for the week. I'm usually right up near the front. Well, definitely up near the front the last few weeks in qualifying. Picked up a win in the second split at Mosport over the week, or during last week. Latham's up at the first checkpoint. A little bit wide though.
Yeah, that could hurt him a little bit.
Not a lot of push out through that corner. The car just wants to go to the outside. It's really tough to keep it stuck on the inside of that turn.
Oh, you're not wrong, and sometimes just a littlest distraction can fire you off into the scene trap as well. Oh, there we go.
Oh, there we
goes
go.
round, unfortunately.
Just about to say, can we go to Justin Ruggie, who's actually purpled the second sector right now?
Yeah, he's only got a couple of more turns to go and he gets through this right-hander.
Looking at a session best time at the moment.
And he already finds himself currently in pole position, so he's a little bit sideways coming through that turn. Hopefully he doesn't give up too much time.
No, he's giving it up.
Yeah.
Whoa.
That's a heck of a pit entry too, mate.
I don't think that's how he's going to do it in the race.
It's probably a bit of frustration on his behalf because he probably saw the splits come up and yeah, what a shame.
Avril as we said, currently leads the session for qualifying. A little bit off the pace for his best lap at the moment. He might actually have changed his mind and gone to to race runs, because I don't think this lap will improve. Close, 141.6. Right behind him, the ANZ guys using a bit of teamwork, getting a bit of tow. Clayton Brooks and Carwin May using the tow together. So we go to Matthew Hill. Actually, session best the first and second sector, so this lap should be an improvement in this session for Hill.
It's interesting just listening to him short shift out of that turn just to cut back on some of that wheel spin. It was a nice bit of driving there.
Nice exit, no drift. The exit, 141.8. That's not quite enough to improve his best time for the week, but still be pretty happy. Actually, that has improved his best time for the week. Improved 2 spots, that'll move into P13 from 15, so very good lap by Hilly. Go to Corey Osborne.
Guys are slowly running out of time. We're just under 4 minutes left in this qualifying session. Madison Down still yet to put down a time, and also Ruggier hasn't really put down anything that's too spectacular, so maybe these guys are trying to have a red hot run and they're just not quite getting it right, but they're slowly running out of time.
Yeah, just looked at Madison there. He was just starting his hot lap and got a bit too much wheel spin out of turn 4 and ended his lap quite quickly because he knew he'd only have one chance to go, so not long to go. Osborne, another session best, second sector.
Looks like he's rolled out of it now.
Doesn't look like he's pushed too hard towards the end of this lap. One of those tracks, it's really tough to tell whether someone's pushing or not because of the throttle control. Sounds like guys are just rolling through corners and not pushing as hard as they can. Another improvement there for Osborne. Moves him up another position, so that moves him up to P20. We go to the provisional pole man, Justin Ruggier. Of course, one thing we haven't factored yet, Rens Brookman off in the European qualifying session. We don't know what he's up to. That'll be in the back of both Justin and Madison's mind.
Yeah, not wrong. For people who don't know, Rens posted that time pretty early in the week, so he's had pace all week. So, you know, he may have been saving something special for this last qualifying run, but I don't know if he would have expected the pace that Ruggier and Down has, because it's the whole, well, even Hampstead too, they've all had pretty extremely close qualifying times.
Justin aborts his lap. Madison not far away from starting his. He's about half a lap away. His last chance to try and take that pole position.
Yeah, under 2 minutes now, so yeah, if he doesn't get the first turn right, he's going to have to get on with it, and that'll be it. But still, at the end of the day, he's P2, so it's still not too shabby.
One thing from the early race, Justin got an amazing jump off the line, and both Madison and Rens really struggled for grip off the line, so that'll be something that those guys will try and get ahead of Justin, just purely based on his ability to get away from the start. Here we go. Starting his final attempt, the final flying lap. We've seen before, Madison's been able to take it away on the final lap. See if he can do it now. A little bit of internet issues by the looks though.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's starting to... Oh, that'll be the end of that lap, and that's the end of that session for him.
Madison, the best he can start is P2. Of course, he could drop back to P3. We just don't know.
Yeah. Fastest in the session so far, Sean Kelly's has posted a 41.234.
Yeah, not enough for him to improve. He's currently in P6 with a 41.16. But Justin's been up as well. He won't go and start another lap. Matthew Hill about to finish his final attempt, nice and loose through the final corner. Probably won't find any time sideways though. 141.9. Not quite enough to improve. The checkered flag now out. Got Corey Osborne, the last driver to cross the line before the checkered flag come out. The other guys finishing their laps. Actually, it's just Richard Locke finishing his lap. So Osborne with his last chance to improve. Personal best first sector for the session. We've already seen him improve a couple of spots in this session.
Car looks good. He's got it positioned well. It's not taily. It's looks like he's hitting his marks. But like I said, his fastest time for this session so far, 42.644, and he's hoping to improve on that. The last car on track.
Always a nice thing to be the last car out on track.
Yeah, even better when you get the job done and improve on your time. Car moved around a lot, so under brakes with that downshift, you could see he did a good job. He's got a
Oh, there it's the end.
Yeah, just got on the throttle and spun the wheels, and he's aborted. But looks like that'll be it.
That's the end of this qualifying session. We still have to wait a little bit to find out what Rens Brookman's got up to in the other session.
Yeah, that's always an interesting bit, isn't it? You know, we forget about everyone else around the world that takes part. Everyone's in different splits as far as qualifying, so it could be last little twist and turn.
Go through the results from this session though. Sean Kelly, fastest with a 141.2, doesn't improve on his best time. He'll start from 6th position. Mitch Abril didn't improve his time. Actually, sorry, he did improve his time. Didn't improve his position. He'll start from P9. Matthew Hill improved a couple of positions for P13. Chris Osborne did improve his time as well. Looks like a few guys improved their times, but not quite enough to improve positions. But probably the biggest story from that session, Justin Ruggie and Madison Down, neither of them able to improve their times.
It's interesting. Everyone's got a different mindset coming into qualifying, and no doubt everyone would love to get pole, but Madison still found himself P2. Nothing in it in the times, but just didn't probably feel comfortable enough to get one of those hot laps or put it together anyway. So didn't get the job done in qualifying, unfortunately, but still not a bad start for the race.
Waiting to see if Rens Brookman improved on his time in that final session. It doesn't look like he did. So the standings will Ruggier from Down, Brookman, Hampstead, Riches, Kelly, Emerson, Maris, Abril and McLeod. Shaping up to be an interesting race.
Not wrong. These guys have got their work cut out for them. 30 laps around here. We throw in pit stops, which always makes it interesting. Everyone will try different strategies as far as tyres and fuel and everything else. So no doubt we're in for a cracker.
Yeah, it should be good now. We apologise. We did say we'd have our special announcement tonight. We'll actually have held that over till next week. We'll make our special announcement that we were due to make. We'll make that next week. But to take us to the race, which is only 10 minutes away, our preview for Race of Champions in 2 weeks' time. You're watching V8sonline's live coverage of the V8 Supercar Official Online Series.